welcome to another week. It's Sunday, 7 p.m. right here, Platform Collection on YouTube. It's your homie KILLcRey, my co-host OG Hip Hop Eddie.
Hello, man. I made it.
Welcome to Chris Sees the Internet. If this is your first time tuning in, we welcome you. We thank you for tuning in. Make sure you hit that subscribe, hit that alert. We got a bunch of shows going on right here at Platform Collection, and you don't want to miss them, especially if you're into underground hip hop and independent art. We cover all of that. It's not just rappers either. It's producers, it's painters, it's tastemakers, it's the people who work behind the scenes, it's managers, it's agents, it's all the good stuff revolving around independent art from the eyes of underground hip hop. That's what we do right here at Platform Collection. But tonight, we got special guests coming up, man. If you're here to see M16 the Great, you're going to see my dude coming up around 7:30, I believe. Then around 8:15, we have the homie LocalBlac. Both first-timers on a Platform Collection show, so that's exciting. We're introducing you to brand new artists, in our world anyways. But both of them are veterans in hip-hop in general and making music in general. Both very accomplished artists in their own right. Very original styles, I would say that. I've never met either one of them. I think I met LocalBlac once at a Black Books and Rhyme Books. Shout out to Beardo.
Oh, yes.
Shout out to Beardo. We spent the day with Beardo yesterday, philosophizing. It felt like a man support group.
Definitely. I agree with you.
The homie Beardo needed some guidance on some stuff, and we kicked it with him and the homie Rick Scales. It was a beautiful Sunday, honestly. Just a dope conversations, catching up with the homies. Shout out to Rick Scales. Shout out to Beardo. Good times, man. But yeah, M16 the Great coming up around 7:30ish, and then at the top of the hour, we'll speak with LocalBlac, and I'm gonna learn about them with you guys. I follow their music, but I don't know them personally. So we're going to hear their stories, and that's what we do here. Especially if you're an independent artist, it's great place to get that insight. Because I think what we try to do is bring people on the show who are finding success in the independent world and lining it up for themselves. So if you're an independent artist and you're trying to do that, then hopefully we can give you some inspiration, maybe some guidance,
Right.
Show you what's going on with people who are doing it and getting it right. And these two gentlemen are definitely getting it right. Shout out to the homie Noah James, too. Dude, Noah James, I bring him up to say this. He sent me an early release of an album that he's got cooking. Amazing, man. Amazing. I can't wait to have him back on the show to talk about that.
Can you share that with me, man?
I will share it with you. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sure he won't mind. But yeah, it's super top secret. Some of the songs aren't even done yet. But, man, some of the music is gut-wrenching, man. He really went into his heart on this.
Oh, I'm excited. That sounds beautiful, man.
Yeah. Really, really. You could tell he was going through a lot when he made this album. So we'll have Noah James come on and talk about that eventually when it comes out. But I just wanted to shout him out for sending that over, man. I always appreciate when artists send us early stuff, which they do a lot, man, and we really appreciate that. So anytime anybody needs an opinion or, an honest opinion anyways, send it our way. I've no problem giving 2 cents on anything, even just appreciating it. And that's all I really did with Noah. I just appreciated his album. Can't wait for you guys to hear it. But
when does he have a date? When
I don't think so, man.
Oh, okay.
He sent it to me early morning. Just saw it in my text messages, and then it was a SoundCloud link. And man, great music though. Really, the way it opens, really great. The way it closed, really great. And I'm not even sure that's the order it's going to be in, but But that's not what we're talking about today, though. Today we're talking about M16 the Great. We're talking about LocalBlac. Two gentlemen that I really want to get to know and I want to share with y'all. Because anytime I find artists out there that are just working hard and doing honest work and finding success in that, I want to share them with you guys so that you guys can be inspired by that. You can maybe follow suit on some things, build on the ideas that they're doing and build your own careers. So this is a good place for that. But shout out to the rest of the shows on PlatformCollection. Shout out to Beat Block TV. Shout out to the Heartful Truth. Shout out to the Parker Edison Project, the podcast about people, and coming soon, Black Books and Rhyme Books podcast. On its way.
Yes.
On its way.
Episodes are locked in and recorded.
Yep. So that should be dropping pretty soon. And it's going to be cool. I think what you guys are going to get with the Black Books and Rhyme Books podcast, hosted by none other than Beardo, the founder of Black Books and Rhyme Books. If you've never checked out Black Books and Rhyme Books, it's a Southern California staple, soon to move across the nation. But you need to check out Black Books and Rhyme Books. They bring together graffiti, b-boying, emceeing, producing, DJing. They bring it all together in a family-friendly event. There's always kids around. There's always, the youngsters, the OGs. They're all in the house, and it's a great time. So if you're in the Southern California area and you've never gone to a Black Books and Rhyme Books, just look it up. Black Books and Rhyme Books, just the way it sounds. Or look up the homie Beardo.
Yes, please.
And go to his events. He's got events booked all throughout the summer. So you haven't missed anything yet. Well, you've missed a lot, but
yeah. I mean, he's
but you'll make up for
something shows already. But.
Yeah, you're definitely going to make up for it. But OG Hip Hop Eddie's back. You're back from Vegas.
Yes, I am, man.
I shared your adventure.
I did see that, man.
On the last episode.
I did see that.
So what did you think about Vegas, man? This was a birthday getaway for you and the wifey, right?
Yeah, birthday celebration for the wife. First time in Vegas, and she wanted to celebrate it there. Never been there, so we got a nice hotel in the middle of the strip, and yeah, man, just kind of did a lot of walking. She didn't believe me on the walking stuff. Wore her sandals, and
this is her first time, right?
First time, yeah. And she was hurting at the end. On the way back, she was like, she's walked a little barefoot here and there. And I was you're going to have to wash
she
your
had the
feet.
full Vegas experience.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that clip you showed, we were in the pool for about maybe an hour and a half or so. And it was nice, man. To be honest, I was a little chicken on the water because it was cold, even though it was just, cold water, and feeling it was a little bit
You don't sound
rough.
Very spring breakish right now, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But
I mean, did you party? Were you partying? Not really.
We did a little barely partying. Let me go with the barely party.
What does that mean?
We didn't really go into any nightclubs. We walked around, and there was a couple bars that had some music, and we walked in and just kind of wiggled, moved around a little bit, and then just.
You guys didn't dance it up all night and booze it up? No.
Nah, man. I mean, my boozing days have
come and gone.
Yes, but and hers are. I mean, she wasn't much of a boozer, anyways. Even when we were dating,
yeah,
I think I was more of the influence on that part.
Yeah.
But yeah, she had those tall margaritas and she enjoyed it, walked around.
Yeah, I figured like on your first time, you got to have one of those. Yeah. Right.
I almost got one, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to share with you because I just remembered like that sugar and then the next day headache. And I was like,
that hangover, man.
I'll just taste it.
Because it's just a slushy basically with a shitload of cheap tequila in it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. So, but overall, it was good. The drive was not too bad both ways, and got to see some stuff and take some pictures and made some moments there. So it was good, man.
Oh, that's what's up, man. I'm thinking what we can do today, because we haven't done this in a while. We haven't checked in on the news and the stuff going on around the internet. So, we got some topics we could definitely cover.
The Johnny Depp thing, I think, is finished.
That's finally done.
Yeah, she didn't do too good, right? I mean,
I think she was awarded $7 million, and then he got like $150 million or something like that. Like that. But let's be honest, nobody won.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's just like
nobody wins when your girl poops in your bed.
Yeah,
that's when you know. That's when you know it's just not going to be good. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like the way that if that whole thing played out was a very weird thing, because I know a lot of what I saw on the internet was that people, it was kind of split for a while. It seemed like it was split down the middle at the beginning.
I could agree. Yeah.
And then it just slowly started to creep towards Johnny's side. Where I mean, I watched a lot of the case. By the way, it was like I would turn it on in the morning, and I mean, it was. I mean, if you just wanted some entertaining TV, it was entertaining TV. But the reality is it was a court hearing between two crazy people.
Yeah, man.
I mean, that's really all it was. It was just two crazy people.
They had it live on TV, live on
on
TikTok,
TV,
live
right.
on IG, live everywhere.
It definitely took too much of TV time in general. You know what I mean? Like at a certain point, even me watching it, right? Like I said, I was enjoying it. But at a certain point, you just start to feel guilty. Like, is this this is the most important thing going on? You know what I mean? Because it obviously was not the most important thing going on in the world. But man, they sure made it seem like that.
I mean, it was even, now that you said that, it was almost like there was a school shooting.
Right.
And it seemed like
that got less.
We got like
run.
2 days of that, maybe 3. And then
Yeah.
that was it. Like,
yeah.
And the other one was like a whole day, 8 hours, like get your popcorn and sit down and, just.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the world, man. Like, I feel like people are very confused. I feel
That's
like
for sure confusing. Yeah,
people are very angry. You know what I mean? Like, people are pretty angry. I mean, COVID fucked up a lot of shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
COVID.
I feel like people are definitely not over that, and I don't. But it's weird though, because I don't think people feel that way. I think people feel like, oh, okay, it's behind us now. But I don't think they realize like the psychological, the physiological effects it's had on us.
Right.
I still feel it when I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
And we happen to be at a lot of events where there's a lot of people, and I still, for the most part, have at least a mask around my neck, ready to be placed. Dude, I realized this the other day. This is how it has affected me, and I wasn't even really aware of that. I'm COVID profiling people. Like, I'm literally like, yeah, that person looks like they could have COVID. You know what I mean? Like, that's really what it's like. I'm profiling people. I get nervous around people if I see them. You ever talk to those people that, there's always like a little spit coming out. Like,
yes.
That shit nowadays is like a bullet. Like, the way I see it now,
you might catch a case with that.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. And so I feel like I'm definitely doing that. So I know if I'm doing that, I'm sure there's a bunch of other people doing that. And
that's a tough one, man. Like,
I don't know how to get over that. How do you get past that? Because look, you your family got sick, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The family did get sick. Yes.
And we've had other people on the team who've gotten sick, but even so, like you said, it's not like you don't want to get sick.
Not at all. No.
Right. And now getting sick doesn't feel the same as it did before. Like, remember pre-COVID, you never thought about catching a cold. Like, you didn't think about it. Right. And it would just happen, and then you kind of dealt with it. Now you're actively trying not to catch shit. And I don't know if that's necessarily that healthy for us. I mean, not catching shit is healthy, but how do you prevent it and still live like a normal life?
That's true, man. How do you?
I don't know. I like I said, I walk around with if I know I'm going to be in a big group, man.
But those are tough ones, man.
Yeah, but I mean, even in when we performed not too long ago, and being on stage, I felt safer because we're the ones on stage. But then I'm also like, oh, I'm rapping, and I'm sure there's spit coming out when I rap. Like, there's people out there. I could be giving somebody something, and I'm vaccinated, and so. Oh, and by the way, we got vaccinated and we didn't die.
No.
People, I remember that.
Yeah,
remember, you guys, listeners, do you remember that? Do you remember that everyone was going to die if we got vaccinated? Then we got vaccinated, and then other people didn't get vaccinated, and they didn't die. So I don't know, man. I feel like it was just we as Americans definitely do good at panicking. Like, we're a panicky society.
We're quick on that, man.
Right? Some people will say rightfully so. You know, some people will say that. I mean, we're the country that invented the Karens.
Yeah,
right? Like we invented the Karens. And what is a Karen? A Karen is someone who's like overly panicky, unjustly so. You know what I mean? And just unfortunately, usually it's a white lady. But what it symbolizes, though, right, is like Karens to me symbolize the panic of America. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, let's stop doing that. Look at that. Oh, what's that over there? Oh, call the police. You know what I mean? Like that's what the Karen is. You know what I mean? And I feel like we all have like a little bit of hangover from COVID, and I don't know.
That's a good way to put it. That is a good way to put it, because some of these hangovers last a long time. And COVID, you know, in some areas has lasted longer than
other places, yes, for sure.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and obviously, if you're watching this and you don't live in California, maybe you don't have the same experience. Maybe it's worse for you. I don't know. I mean, there's people that are probably listening that are in areas that seem like COVID hasn't gone away. And then we just happen to be I'm in Southern California, so we never really faced that big of a lockdown. We're south of LA. And the lockdown, I mean, to be quite honest, was never really that tight.
Not too bad.
You know what I mean?
But in the LA area, they kind of...
Yeah, I remember going to LA during the lockdown and couldn't even find a place to use the restroom.
Yeah, it was... Whoa, yeah, that's so true. I remember that part.
So if you didn't live there, we couldn't find a place. So... I don't know. I hope it's going to pass. But I also know that there's like a whole generation of like kids and younger people who they're not really going to know anything different than how it feels right now. You know what I mean? Like the way it feels right now is kind of like what they're used to. And they're just going to grow up and it's probably not going to be that big of a deal to them, you know? Because they're not going to know anything different, really.
It's going to be almost like the flu, you know, the common flu. It's, you got the common COVID, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at some point, I feel like don't you kind of feel like it's already like that? Like.
Yeah. I think it's just, the thing is, where it's the settling in of that idea of the reality of that it is like the common flu, you know. I think people are still, there's some people out there, I think that are like.
But how do you feel?
I think it's like that common flu now, you know, where.
So you're not afraid to get sick anymore? Do you think?
No, I'm not afraid of it, of getting sick again. I just wouldn't want to, for sure. You know, just like even if I was getting the regular flu. But, I know what I felt and I know how I felt, and I'm like, damn, I don't know if I just take the steps. I can fight it, you know. I can fight over it, but I don't really like think about it and be like, oh, you know. I just think, it's a common thing now that anybody can get, whether you were vaccinated or not. You can catch it at talking to the neighbor, and the neighbor, he or she spits, you know.
Yeah,
and they have it or something like that.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to stay out of the spit range of people I don't know. So I find myself doing that for sure.
Yeah.
Like well, you know what? If I go to Walmart to pick up some groceries, I still wear a mask.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like Walmart. I feel like COVID lives in Walmart.
Yeah, you know what?
That's just my hunch.
And until you said that right now, when I had it and I had to go into Walmart to get more medication, I had to I was wearing like thin gloves, because I even was like, man, if I'm touching this medicine and I'm like, oh no, this is the wrong one, and I put it back and I'm exposed, then the next person that touches it, boom, gotcha. Because it was coming out of me, you know?
Right.
So that was the scary part. I could say when I went to the store, I felt scared that I would possibly give it to someone else when I had to go in there.
Man, you're better than me.
Yeah, so
I'm over here just dodging the bullets coming at me, because you know what I mean. Like,
yeah. And I was trying to dodge, you know, from people getting hit with my bullets. You know, I was just like, you know, like, oh no, I got to be very careful. And if I did touch something, I would put it all the way in the back, like the last one someone can grab. So eventually,
so that the COVID could die or
hopefully,
something.
yeah, that was my
See,
thing.
that's the problem, though, bro. Is that we got a bunch of people out here playing scientists, and it seems like everybody's still just confused on how you can even catch it. Like people, we never really got to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
During COVID, we were just like, I think you can catch it this way. I think sun kills it. I think it can't live on surfaces. You know what I mean? Like I have no idea.
I'm just like, if it'll fade away. I mean, hopefully.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, the way we caught it is just, family member, my mom and my brother walked into the house and they just came over to visit, and they had a little scratchy throat. They had that kind of symptoms, but they were in the beginning of it.
Wait, are you putting your mom and brother on blast?
I did already. I did already.
You're saying that's how you caught it from them?
Yes, I believe.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
We did. Yeah, I mean, I think
should they be able to be prosecuted? You think?
No, because they didn't even know they had it.
Allegedly.
Yeah, so they didn't even know they had it until like a couple of days later. My brother's like, I got it. And I was like, oh man, I've been feeling a little scratchy on my throat too. And then I test, boom, got it too. So that's how we got it, man. So, anyway.
What do you think about in other news? Man, I don't know if you've been following my favorite topic, the UFO. The UFO stuff is cracking right now, bro.
Yeah,
I don't know if you know about this. They're literally having congressional hearings finally about the UFO topic. It started earlier last week, and it's continuing. And NASA announced 2 days ago that they are officially making a space program to study UAPs, is what they call them. No longer UFOs. UFOs, that was the old little green men, ha 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 thing. Now it's UAPs. UAPs are more serious. And man, you follow UFO Twitter, they're all super hyped. And there is a UFO Twitter, just hashtag UFO Twitter, and you'll see they're all very hyped at the idea and the rumors that disclosure in a bigger way is about to happen. Like they're literally going to finally say, and apparently one of the big things is that there's a color, like high definition video floating around that Congress, like many people in Congress have already seen. Mm-hmm. They've definitely seen videos we haven't seen because Congress wants it all out. Or at least the committee that's investigating it, they want it all out.
Okay.
So who knows, man? We might be seeing something really cool. I never thought I'd see it in my lifetime, but now I'm pretty convinced that I will. Just because everything that's out. And then if you just look at like normal media, the amount of like UFO related topics, movies, stories, TV shows is just doubling, quadrupling. It's everywhere. It seems like a flood's about to happen again. And apparently the New York Post also has a story that's going to be coming soon. So
okay,
we'll see. It's going to be coming up really quick, man.
Maybe we can ask our guest what he thinks.
Yeah, man. We'll have him coming up right now. Yeah. I'll get the Zoom line open for M16 the Great. He'll be joining us in a second.
I did see something on that UFOs that, and I kind of believed it, where they were saying, and of course I don't know who said it, but I mean, where they said it, that I know you can watch it when someone is recording and we see it like on CNN, for example, but if you're outside and you see it, the neighbor that's outside might not be able to see it because it's only like almost chosen ones that get to see it. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I don't know. I was watching. Joe Rogan did a really cool interview with. His name's going to come to me. He's basically the guy who broke the story on Area 51, and he used to work there. Basically, his name's going to come to me, but he basically said that the technology, because he apparently worked on some of the UFOs, right? And that this is the story, and that the way he described the technology is that it bends light. So that it's more conceivable what you're saying now with knowing that it bends light. So basically, you could look if from certain angles you wouldn't be able to see it at all because it's apparently the technology and it bends light, it bends gravity, which on sidebar, we have no reported technology like that in the U.S. arsenal. So who knows? But yeah, I mean, there might be something to that. It's why, and it would explain why only some people see it. But the chosen part, I still don't know. That's still a big leap for me. So I'm not completely sure on that.
And the only reason I think it was close, where I'm like, okay, that could be a possibility, because even in our world, in our entertainment world, it's almost like the chosen ones become our artists or musicians or painters and stuff. Not everybody is, you know. So.
Oh, you're talking about just like statistically whether or not somebody would be able to see a UFO?
Yes.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, who knows? But we got M16 the Great coming up. I got the Zoom line open.
Yeah.
Hey, M16, if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up really quick. Not sure he's got me yet. Oh, there he is. Okay, and if you can, place your phone sideways. I think we might have a slight delay. There it goes. Yep, there it is. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, nice. I'm excited for you guys to meet this gentleman. I've been following his music for a little bit now. I heard about him through the homie Noah James.
Yeah.
And you guys know how we get down with Noah James. If it comes from Noah James, it must be good. But the homie M16 the Great is here. Give it up for M16 the Great.
Welcome.
Dude, thank you. Welcome to your show. Welcome to the show, sir.
Hello, how you doing? I'm trying to...
So let me let you know right off the bat, I think there is a slight delay. So just in case, so we're not stepping on each other, give it a few seconds. But we have a little bit of a delay, but we'll make it work. So, dude, first of all, welcome to the show. Thank you for spending time with us tonight. I want to jump right into it, man. I've been following your music, and like I said, you come highly recommended from people that we trust and we mutually know. But I want to know your story. I want our audience to know your story. I want to start from the beginning. Tell them who you are. Tell them where you come from, and give us a little bit of background on you as an artist.
Okay, for sure. First things, thank you for having me. First things first, I appreciate the opportunity to be here. Secondly, yeah, my name is M16 the Great, the Big Belly Boss, Mr. Consistency, and all that jazz. I represent Fontana, California, the IE. Noah James, like my brother, you know what I'm saying, amongst a lot of other artists from the Inland Empire. Yeah, man, I'm just an artist from the Inland Empire, man, just speaking from a different perspective that most people don't speak from, you know what I'm saying? I speak more from a street perspective, at the same time very lyrical and very transparent lifestyle wise. I like to say I'm more of a street lifestyle musical artist, you know.
I definitely get that in your music, man. I can hear there's definitely a street pedigree to what you're talking about, because the stuff you're talking about, you definitely have to know about it to be talking about it. And you can definitely see that in what you do. Can you tell us a little bit about your early influences as an artist? Like, did you have family that was into music? Were you the only one who was a creative person? Where does the creative part from you come from when you think about it?
Man, so like at the beginning, I felt like I was the only one. And then as I got older, I realized, you know, my father is a creative, you know what I'm saying? He's just in a different space. He's more like in the film space of creativity. But musically, it definitely, I fell in love with hip hop because of Notorious B.I.G. That was like the first person that I really seen. I was like, oh shit, like he looks like me, like, you know, because I was always a big kid, so I used to get made fun of, and I felt like he kind of gave me a level of confidence, you know what I'm saying, like seeing him with like Faith Evans and, you know, Little Kim, and you know what I'm saying, he was like this player, you know what I'm saying, it just inspired me, and I was like, okay, that's what I want to be, that's the guy I want to be. And that's how I started picking up the whole trying to rap thing. And but later down the line, when I started to open up you know, really getting into the rap more than the commercial. Cause you know, when you first start, it's all commercial shit. You just listening to what's hot, you know. But then when I really got into the art of hip hop, I started, you know, introducing myself to people like, you know, Nas, the Jay-Z's, the Dead Presidents, the
nice.
Most Defs, and you know what I'm saying? It just start to get a little deeper, you know what I'm saying? And Pharoah Monch, you know, I could just name a lot of people that just made me challenge me a little more, man. I remember hearing my first time I heard it was a tape the homie gave me. It was like the Lyricist Lounge tape. I don't know if you guys remember when Rockets used to do Lyricist Lounge tape. Yeah, so I heard that and it was just like, oh shit, that just like opened my brain to a whole nother level of rap. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh shit, like I gotta take it to can I cuss? I'm sorry.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Oh, okay, my bad. I always be forgetting to ask first. But you know what I'm saying? It just cracked my brain to a whole another level of lyricism. So yeah, man, it was just I just love it, man. I always tell people I'm a student first. I'm a real student for the art, man. I know everything from the stories of Busy B, you know what I'm saying, Kumo D to, you know, the real Roxanne. Like I know I did all the research. I learned everything I need to know about this before I decided that, okay, this is the life that I want.
That's dope, man. I want you to do this too, man. I would love because you are obviously you're finding headway as an independent artist. You know, we recognize you. There's other artists that are recognizing you. I see you out there working. I'm a big flyer watcher, so I'm always watching the flyers. I see your name on tons of flyers. You're actively working. Can you tell us a little bit and share with, like, because we get a lot of independent young artists that watch this show and try to find inspiration through the guests we have on. Can you share a little bit about what it is to be an independent artist and maybe what you've learned through your journey?
Man, to be an independent artist means you got to work. You know what I'm saying? I think everybody just thinks about the financial aspect of being it. They're like, oh, you make more money. But you know what? A lot of times when it comes to these record labels, even though, you know, a lot of people are anti-record label, and the record label does the work you don't want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when you think about it, you love to go to restaurants, right? You love to eat good food at good, nice restaurants. But do you really want to clean up after you want to wash those dishes? Do you really want to, you know what I'm saying? Do you want to clean that table? Do you want to swat, you know what I'm saying? Do you really want to do those things? Do you really want to have to cut that shrimp and take the little strip? You know what I'm saying? You want all that? It's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes. People just looking at everything for surface value. You know what I'm saying? So before you decide like, oh, I want to be an indie artist, know what you're getting yourself into 100%.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Because I always tell people 100% of nothing is nothing. You know what I'm saying? So just because you own 100% of your shit, if it ain't worth nothing, it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you might have to just, you know what I'm saying, give away 10, give away 50 sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But 50 of a million, you still doing good. You still be able to provide for your children. And I'm not trying to tell people to go that route or this route. I'm just telling you, know what you're getting yourself into. Do not be like, sign up for something you really don't know what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of hard work. It's constant. Like, yeah, like you got to be on flyers. You got to reach out. You got to deal. It's always business. It's never personal. If a person tells you, nah, I don't want you on my show, you don't fit you don't fit what they're doing. You don't fit their aesthetic. You can't be like, oh, fuck that show. Fuck them. I don't want to fuck. Nah, don't badmouth nobody, because all the same people you see on the way up, you'll see on the way down. You need to respect everybody. It's about building relationships. Every opportunity ain't your opportunity. So sometimes you might see a dope opportunity, but it's like, no, that ain't mine. But I know somebody else that's on that, you know what I'm saying, that's on that lane or in that lane to do that. Always be like that, man. And a lot of times you could just give somebody an olive branch, and that same olive branch you gave that person could be $1 million check in 5 years. You never know.
That's
you
right.
invest in yourself with every relationship. You know,
I love it, man.
Well said, man.
Well said, bro. And I love the fact that I think what you're saying isn't said enough too, especially when you're talking about independent artists, because it is what M16 is sharing with y'all. It's real, man. And trust me, like what we as artists, we talk about this stuff behind the scenes all the time, that not everybody can do everything. right? And the people who can put together a lot of stuff for themselves, it is much more rare than you think. I know a lot of people on Instagram, it's very easy to make it look like you're doing a lot. But when you really, really are doing a lot, it's a full-time job. Just to keep it afloat, it's a full-time job. And I love the fact that you're being really blunt about it. Like, it isn't for everybody. And I think more artists should say that, because I've heard Lyra Cohen, you know what I mean? I've heard people from Def Jam talk about, like, yo, not everybody should try the independent route. Some of you all should sign contracts. Some of you should do that, because it's like you said, not that it depends on what type of artist you want and what you want to be at the end of the day. Let me ask you this, on a personal note, what is the part of this journey that you love the most? Like, what is the part that you're the most in love with?
That I love the most, man, it's so many levels to it of like what I love. But what I would say, what I love the most is knowing that I've created a product that's going to outlive me. You know what I'm saying? And there's no expiration date. You know, like, God forbid something happened to me, it might take that for me to sell 1 million records. You know what I'm saying? God forbid, but that million records is gonna go to my kids. So it's like, just to be able to make a product that I'm pretty much immortal. Anybody, you know what I'm saying? We're pretty much immortal. We're pretty much mutants. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, we live forever through our art. So just that, I think that's what I love the most, that my art will live forever.
I love that, man. And I agree. I think I'm in the same boat with you, man. That's the part that is, especially as I've gotten older, that part has become more important to me, to be able to not be, I don't want to be able to be erased. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be able to put out enough quality things that people really, that really connect with people, that it's just going to be part of their soundtrack of their lives and soundtrack of other people's lives. So I agree with you on that, man. Let me ask you this. Okay. So, listening to your music, I know that you are like, you simultaneously put a lot of work into your lyrics, but it seems like you also like people to move because of your beat selection. There's shit that you want to play at parties, you want to play it in your car. Like, you got like great driving music, by the way, too. Let me tell you that you got great driving music.
And that's the biggest honor you could get. You could give.
Well, word up, and it's facts, man. But so tell me about, like, when you're thinking about beats, because we also get a lot of producers that listen to this show. When you're looking for music for yourself, what are you normally looking for?
So when I look for, so like, I hate when a producer tells me, "Oh, what you vibing with?" You know what I'm saying? Because I'm an artist, so when I create my art, I don't want to be like, I want to come in your world. So it's like, I'd rather like sit with you, hear what you got, and I pick what sticks out to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you I don't really like when producers try to adapt to what I'm doing, because a lot of times it's like, when that hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. Hello?
No worries. You're there.
Hello?
You're
okay,
good.
I'm fine. Yeah, when that happens, a lot of times when that happens, I feel like it's not organic. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times when I pick my best beats, I'm just going through a pack, and it might be like the 95th beat, and I'm like, this is the one. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I can't really sit with you for, like, you know what I'm saying, 2 hours. Sometimes I just want to go through your catalog and pick the right beat. And I feel like what makes the music so special is like, I want that beat, that whatever moment you was in, I want to capture that moment with my lyrics. So it's like, imagine if you're going through a breakup and you produce the craziest beat during that breakup. I want to be able to capture that breakup lyrically in my way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, if we're together, all we're gonna make is just some, like, it's gonna be popcorn, but it's gonna be some bubble shit, right? Because it's like, we're forcing something. It's like, oh, I just want to make it on the spot. And that's cool. Sometimes you come up with some dope shit, you know what I'm saying? But I prefer to really get into your head and, like, who you are. Because you're an artist just as much as I'm an artist as a producer. So it's like, I want to see I want to see you. I want to see the best of you. I want to see that shit. Like a lot of times I pick the beat that people be like, yeah, nobody, I like this beat, but nobody likes this beat. And I'll be like, yo, I fucking love that beat. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's just how it be, you know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of times with producers, not, you know, I feel like producers get frustrated because the beat they think is the hottest beat. It's just too much for the rapper to, because you know you got to give the rapper space to be a rapper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
or not just a rapper or artist. You got to give the artist space to be an artist. And a lot of times producers overproduce. You know what I'm saying? Which is, you know, sometimes you got to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't just limit yourself to artists too, because you know you could score a film. You know what I'm saying? You can make music for sitcoms. There's so many things a producer can do. You know what I'm saying? More than just making beats for rappers and singers, you know? So it's like, never stop what you do. But at the same time, when you are dealing with an artist, and if you're trying to be, you know, if you're trying to be a producer that's like, yo, this is the single, this is going to be that breakout song, you know what I'm saying? Give it space, let the beat breathe so the artist can really show his, you know what I'm saying? I think it's supposed to complement. We got to complement each other.
Yeah. I agree. And I think compliment is the best way to put it too, because I think that any dope collaboration between a producer and an artist is that it's two people complementing an idea, and then it becoming something new, something that it wasn't before. Let me ask you this, man. And again, this is our first time meeting, man. And again, thank you for sharing your time with us. This is my vibe from you, man. And this is, I think a lot of people come on the show and they share with me one of the reasons they like coming on the show is because part of the things that we love to talk about is not just the music and not just the creative part, but the person. And I feel like you seem like a person who is very well thought out about what they have to say and how they're saying it. And there's a lot of honesty, it seems like. At least that's my gut feeling, bro. And I've always followed my gut feeling from the jump. If you've ever heard of Chris Sees the Internet, we know how to pick them. We bring people on here who are always like that for whatever reason. At this point, I've been doing this long enough that I feel like those kind of people are just attracted. You know what I mean? Real recognize real, basically, you know, to put it in the simplest way. And so tell me where your honesty and your need to be honest comes from. And has that always been there, or was that something that you like learned to do? Like, did you learn that through going through shit, or, you know, why are you an honest person? Why is that important to you?
Well, the thing is, Noah James will tell you, I have no filter. So that's my biggest, at the beginning of my career is my biggest downfall, but I guess, real shit end up taking, you know, because it was a point where fake shit was the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real, fake shit was ruling the game. So now it's real shit is, you know what I'm saying, is more accepted now. So me being honest and just having no filter and just speaking my mind is they accept it. You know what I'm saying? Like when you say like a lot of my stuff is it's really not, you know, people be thinking that like, when I say shit, it's like, oh, you thought, nah, this shit just be off the hip. This is how, you know, my mind just been working. I'm like a freestyler, battler, you know what I'm saying? So my mind, you know, thoughts come quick to me since, you know, at the beginning, since I started rapping. So, you know, a lot of times it's just how I come out, you know, even I fuck relationships up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I just can't fake the fun. I just say what I really feel, and it just comes out how it comes out. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know, it's difficult, but yeah, like some people appreciate it and some people don't, you know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't change that that's one thing I wouldn't change, because I see, like I have it's been points in my life where I try to please people, and that was very depressing. So I learned from those experiences that like, yo, I can't please nobody, man. I gotta please me, you know what I'm saying? Because it's hard, man. It's so hard to please people, man. Especially people you love. It's even harder because, you know, it's just difficult, man. You know how that feels. Sometimes you try to please a motherfucker that just, even if you do everything the right way, it still doesn't resonate with them. It's like, yo, you might as well be yourself.
I agree, man. I agree.
So,
and a compliment to you. Compliment to you, bro. Like, because I feel like anytime I appreciate that a lot from an artist. But being an artist, I appreciate that because I agree with you. I think it's more rare than we'd all like to admit, right? Especially being in this business, you meet a lot of characters, you meet a lot of different types of people. So when you are blunt or not, when it's honest, I definitely think people who've been doing it long enough can really appreciate that, because it's just so rare. So let me ask you this. I love to ask artists this. If you be your own manager right now in a perfect world, what does M16 the Great need? If you had a manager with limitless potential, limitless funds, everything, what would M16 the Great need to be to the whatever next level you want to be at? What do you need?
What do I need? At this point, I feel like, man, I am my own manager pretty much, but like what I was, if I had like the top tier with a budget and everything, I would say to take it to the next level, I would just need the budget for a record to be, so for my record to be on the radio, man. I feel like if someone heard it on the radio, it's going to do it. The rest is history, and I feel like that with a lot of artists, especially from where I'm from, that I know, it's like on a big stage. And, you know what I'm saying? It's just going to do. I remember, like, I loved Kendrick way before, you know what I'm saying, the Dr. Dre situation, but when people heard him on The Recipe, it was like, you know what I'm saying? Or like when people start hearing like Nipsey on the radio, it's like, oh shit, I never heard nothing like this. But these people have been great. So it's like sometimes you just need that world stage, you know what I'm saying, to be on that stage, to be in front of people, to really hear and let the people be the judge. So I just feel like if I could just be in a position where the people could be the judge, I think the rest, like you said, the real shit will shine through and they'll fuck with it. Because I'm not for everybody. And I don't think no artist is for everybody. And that should never be the goal. I think as an artist, your goal should never, if your goal is to be for everybody, you're not real. And it's you know what I'm saying? Like you're losing the point of hip hop. Hip hop is supposed to be your expression. Like, you know what I'm saying? I never want to lose the essence of what hip hop is. It's your expression. Is I feel like we're the most expressive culture. It's really like, yo, regardless if you're a Lupe Fiasco dude that likes anime and karate, or if you're, you know what I'm saying, Dr. Dre that like to drink 40s and lowriders, it doesn't matter. It's your expression and how do you express yourself. So it's like when it's your expression, a million people might fuck with it, but everybody's not gonna fuck with it. Everybody doesn't like Eminem. He's he's the most successful rapper, but everybody doesn't like him. But
I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, I'm not here for everybody to like. So it's like I just need to be on the world stage and they can see me, that'd be the best. You know what I'm saying? And my dream was always to be on Atlantic Records. I don't know why. I've always wanted to be on Atlantic Records. So I've been manifesting.
I can see that.
Million. Yeah, I've been manifesting a $20 million deal from Atlantic Records.
Let's go.
I don't even remember.
Fire.
So it's like that's my goal. You know what I'm saying? I even got the check in my wallet. I wrote the check. I learned that from Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey wrote a check of what he wanted, put it in his wallet. He kept it in there. And then I don't know if it was it The Mask?
It was The Mask.
It was a big movie. And he got that. And was it The Mask? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. He got that. And he was like, oh shit. He knew the power of of manifestation. So it's just about being, because like if I would have got $20 million at 20, I would have fucked it up. I had to be older to understand what to do with the money and how I would do it, what I would do, and how I could put other people in position. Because true wealth is making other people wealthy. You know what I'm saying? You gotta. That's how you stay wealthy, by making other people wealthy. You know what I'm saying? But people don't understand that. They be like, "Oh, let me just keep all the money." You know what I'm saying? And it's not all about money, but I come from a place where we don't have, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was telling somebody, like, when you think of the IE, a lot of people like, oh, Victoria Gardens, Tyler Mall, they think about all these beautiful things, but this is the thing they don't understand. Like, but then when you go on the other side of the freeway, it's struggle and it's poverty and it's, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, what's worse, to be in the hood and all you see is hood shit, or to be in the hood and you can see success, but you just can't get it? That's the worst. Like, imagine being a dog in a cage and you see the stake out right outside your cage, but you'll never leave that cage. That's how I feel sometimes. And that's why I feel like I speak for those people in that cage looking at the stake. And they do dumb shit, you know, not necessarily dumb shit, but they do stuff that puts them in a position where they never leave that cage. It's a metaphor in a sense, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, I'm trying to get y'all out that cage, you know what I'm saying? Mentally and literally.
Yo, man, if y'all are tuned in, y'all just got about $1 million worth of game right there, because that's some real shit, man. Dude, thank you so much for sharing some time. I need you to tell people what you got coming up, though, man, because I want people to support you. Please go support him, M16 the Great, on Instagram. You can just Google him. He'll come up. Trust me, I already did it. M16 the Great on Instagram. Give him some followers, and support what he's doing. What do you got coming up for the rest of the year, man? What can people look forward to?
Man, I'm about to drop a project called Now They Know. I've been working on it tirelessly. Like, I just been working on it all year. It's finally perfect. I don't know exactly the date because I work for the universe, you know what I'm saying? So it's like whenever the everything that I need to, when it aligns the way it needs to align, then that's when it'll come out. I don't like to force or rush anything anymore, because every time I did that, I fell on my face. So I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I'm moving at the speed of the universe. And so I can't really give a date, but yeah, I got Now You Know coming soon. I got a show every week, you know what I'm saying? Just constantly staying on it. And I'm just trying to, be an independent artist, man. Just keep staying on the gas. It's a nonstop job, and anybody who dropped a project or did any new music drop, like, hey, it don't stop because your album dropped. That's my phrase for everybody. The grind don't stop because your album dropped. People do these rollouts and then they think it's over. Like, okay, I wrote out, the project's out. Nah, you got to keep going. Put posters up. You know what I'm saying? Do whatever you got to do. Put stickers here. If you just got to go to a corner, if you just go to a corner with a mic and rap there for 2 hours, do whatever you got to do. Do something to gain more awareness of who you are. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I go so hard is because I was trying to help so many people, and they used to always be like, oh, well, I'm doing, they made me feel like they were doing me a favor. So I had to show them that, yo, I'm as valuable as you, if not more valuable, and I work harder than you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's pretty much where my focus and my grind and my laser vision for it, to let people know, like, yo, I really want to help you. I really want to put people in position of success, but don't think because I'm trying to help you that I don't believe in what I'm doing. And I can't, you know what I'm saying? I know who I am. I'm just trying to help you because I know who I am. It's coming. Yeah. It's, you know what I'm saying? The check's already been written. It just needs to come to the bank. I just need to deposit it. But
let's go.
So whatever you do, any artists out there, if you got a new project, you got anything, just keep pushing it, keep grinding. I understand you get discouraged when you don't meet the expectations you thought it would meet. It's very discouraging. I feel it too, but you gotta dust yourself off and get back to it. You know what I'm saying? You keep shooting shots, man. Me and my team always say, yeah, we just gonna keep shooting until one of them go in. You know what I'm saying? How you think Steph Curry got so nice with the 3-point? You feel me? He kept shooting. So you just got to keep shooting, man. You got to dust yourself off. Music is lonely. Music is that's what people don't understand. This entrepreneur music game is very lonely, very depressing. It's a lot of negatives. All you guys see is like 20% of what it is. The positive is 20%, maybe less than that.
Facts.
A lot of it is very negative. It's hard to keep a relationship. It's hard to, you know what I'm saying, be a good father sometimes. It's hard to do a lot of things that's very vital in life, but what you're doing is bigger than that, because you might save somebody's life. You might make the record that keeps somebody from killing themselves. You might make the record that makes somebody fall in love and start a family. You might make the record, you know what I'm saying, that get somebody through college, get somebody through high school, you know what I'm saying, or get somebody through loss. It's so, you so powerful. So when the personal, you know what I'm saying, you can't let what your life is now, define the life you want. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people be like, man, I'm going through life right now, so I can't do this. It's like, yo, you gonna keep going through life, or you gonna get the life you want?
Let's
What
go,
you gonna
man.
do? You gonna
Wow.
Come on
Great
now.
stuff. Great stuff.
Come
That's
on,
what I'ma
y'all.
do.
This is free, by the way. Y'all
Feel me?
get
Like,
you
I'ma
got
get the
y'all
life I
realize this
want.
is free? This is free right now. Like, you're watching this for free. You just got a college course right now from my dude.
Fire words.
M16 the Great, man. Thank you so much. I'm gonna tell you this, man. You always have a home right here at Chris Sees the Internet. Anytime you need to come on, even
Man,
if you
thank
just want to get some stuff off your chest, even if you just want to come and share some game with some people, please do. You will always have a home here. Thank you so much for tuning in with us and sharing your time with us.
Thank you.
And please come back as soon as the record is ready, man. Come back and let's talk about that as soon as it comes
Man, I
out.
got you.
Word up, bro.
And I want y'all to come to my listening party too, man. I got a listening party coming in. I want y'all there, man. I have y'all there. Drink for y'all. Drinks on me. Just come through, man. I would love to have y'all there.
Hell yes, bro.
Let us know, man.
Send the invite and we'll be there, bro. Thank you so much, dude. Ladies and gentlemen, M16 the Great. Please follow him and support everything he's doing, man. Look, he just gave you a bunch of game that I'm gonna just be quite honest. He didn't have to. He could just tell you it's all good. He could just tell you there's no problems, there's nothing. But he's telling you how it really is, and hopefully what he just did inspires the next M16 the Great and the next person to come and try this same thing, this same journey, and find their own way. And man, thank you again, bro. Thank you so much. Shout out to Noah James, by the way, for linking it up. Ladies and gentlemen, we know how to pick them. We know how to pick them. I'm telling you, we know how to pick them. Please come back, dude.
Man, appreciate you, man. Love. Thank you so much, man. Shout out Noah. Shout out Lisa. Yo, you gotta shout out Lisa, man.
Lisa J
is the heartbeat of the eye. Like, Noah is the voice. You feel me? The passion in the voice. But Noah himself would tell you, Lisa is his heart, and without that heart. So Lisa is the heart, but Noah's the voice, you feel me? And they gonna get their flowers, man. They ain't even gonna get a flower, they gonna get a whole garden because they deserve everything that's coming their way. You feel me?
Woo.
True that.
Let's
brother.
go, man. We'll talk to you soon, G. Have a great night.
Appreciate you. Have a good one. Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, M16 the Great, what can we say? We know how to pick them, man.
Yes, and they've been picked.
I'm telling you, we know how to pick them.
Yes, we do, my man. Yes, we do. What a great, things he's saying. Even though he's like, he's saying, like, I'm going to try to get this 20 million to help my other, friends, colleagues, and all that. But at the same time, even though when he gets his 20 million and he does pass it out, they have to continue to work.
Right.
You just don't get it and be like, all right, I got it. And
it's over.
You get it.
Just like you don't release an album and go, mission accomplished.
Yeah.
That's mission started.
Yes.
That's mission started. Yeah, dude.
Yes.
And like I said, I really do watch flyers, and my dude is on, like him talking about I got a show every week. He ain't lying. My dude is performing all over the place. Mm-hmm. He's really out there killing it. And man, yeah, M16 the Great. If you support him, stand up, man.
Please.
Because you're supporting that's a thoroughbred right there. You know what I mean? That racehorse is ready to run the race. You know what I mean? And he's putting out high quality music, high quality videos. Everything looks great. The packaging is great. You could just tell that he really loves what he does. And this is my suggestion to y'all as fans, as people who take in music. Man, give that attention to people who care about what they're doing as much as you care about listening to music. He cares about what he's doing. You can tell. You can just see it. And like he said, I ain't for everybody. He's not trying to be for everybody.
That is such a big, like powerful, true statement. You know, that some of these artists out there are like, well, F this person because they didn't like me.
Yeah.
But the reality is like, why? I mean, you don't have to like them.
You don't have to like everything.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? Like it would be weird if you were for everybody. I've always thought that weird.
It's almost kind of boring.
Dude, I remember talking to somebody one time and they told me they had like I think they said like they had like 100 friends. And I thought I've always found that weird. I was like, well, how can you, like, you and I are friends and that takes up like a lot of my life. Like to be a good friend to somebody and to actually call them a friend, you know? So it takes a lot. So it find the things that you like about an artist. And
Right.
if you do like that artist, support that artist, because like you know what you get out of them. I know what I get out of listening to people's music. I know what I get out of music in general. It really has done those things that M16 the Great said. It has helped me meet other people.
Yep.
It has inspired me to do bigger things. Right? It's made you fall in love at times. It is music is the soundtrack to our life. So if you find a good soundtrack, support that soundtrack so that soundtrack can continue and that artist can continue to make music for you. But yeah, man, shout out to him.
Yeah, definitely. One thing he was saying is like, I mean, he didn't say it in that specific way, but what he was saying, it's a job. Like he has a job. He has a job to make music. He has a job to get this message out, whether you're breaking up, whether you're falling in love, where you want to get your girl pregnant, where you want to travel. What his whole goal is, like, he needs to get this music out and fulfill these people that need to hear it and and translate it in their own ways. And that is a job. Some of these artists think that,
that they're almost doing it for themselves.
Yes.
Right. I've heard people say that literally. I make music just for me.
That's pretty
But it's
selfish.
weird.
Yeah.
It's weird that you share it. Why are you sharing it then?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's definitely, I mean, I love the way he was thinking, where it's like, it's my job. And that's what a lot of artists have to think. Until you think that this is a job, then it will be your job. If not, then you'll be doing other things.
Oh, major facts.
To fulfill that job hole that, because at the end of the day, everybody has bills, everybody has to take care of, business. But until you specifically
if you don't see art as your job, it won't be.
The struggle's real, man.
Yeah. Shout out to M16 the Great. I'm looking forward to his project coming out. Maybe we're gonna have to roll out to his listening party, man.
With that, man. That'd
be cool,
exciting.
Huh?
Let's go do that.
I love to meet the artist in person as well, man. But guys, please go support. Dude, I'll tell you this. Just listening to what he had to say, I already know that I'm gonna chop that up and use that as. There's a bunch of inspirational shit on there.
Gems after gems.
M16 the Great's about to be all over our TikTok and our Instagram because he just had a bunch of inspirational shit. He was hyping me up. I was like, damn, yeah, you're right. Let's go get the studio right now.
He's like, hello, we're gone.
But we got the homie. By the way, man, we got to get this Zoom thing straightened out. That's why I'm so glad. By the way, ladies and gentlemen,
let them have the news, man.
I literally don't think we're going to be going live all the time anymore. I think we did our first recorded episode, just fully recorded last week, and it did really well, and people liked it. It premiered. People got in the chat room, so that was really cool. You don't need us to necessarily be like, look, here's the reality. If we didn't do certain things, you wouldn't even know we were live.
Right.
We're live right now, and that's always been a thing because we like to record it onto YouTube, but there's other things we want to do. Plus, we want to take you guys on the road. I want to do some more interviews out on the road. Where we got a new segment coming up where people are going to be asking questions or sending in video questions for us to answer, bro. So we're going to have people from all around the world sending us video questions. And the thing is, here's the challenge I've told them. We can solve any problem. Tell us a problem and we're gonna go at it.
We got you.
Me and Eddie are gonna figure out a way to solve your problems. We're gonna solve all your life problems. Yes. So but we got LocalBlac coming at 8:15, you said?
8:15, yes.
Okay, so I'll get the Zoom in a minute. But yeah. And so I think after we won't be on next Sunday, it's Father's Day. We want y'all to, be with you, even though I don't have a dad.
But I love you, man.
Thanks, man.
Yes.
Yeah, either be out there kicking it with your dad, thinking about your dad, saluting your dad, or being a dad. It's dad week next Sunday, so we're off next Sunday. We got some dads on our team, Eddie being one of them. So we want them to be with their kids and hanging out. But the week after that, we'll be back. And I think you're gonna see the all new version of Chris Sees the Internet.
Yes, that's
in 2 weeks, premiering in 2 weeks. The all new version. New look, new everything, and some new segments. And like I said, we're going to be solving the world's problems. So, that being said,
if you got world problems,
if you want to be one of those people, and maybe you have a problem, and I am talking anything, I'm that confident we can solve your problem. Send it in, send me a video, and we'll play it back on the show. You can DM it to me at KILLcRey, or send it to OG Hip Hop Eddie, or you can email him a video, hiphopeddie@gmail.
Send them in.
Yeah, and we're gonna be playing them back. We had a lot of people. We're gonna have other artists asking questions. It's gonna be cool. So you're gonna be able to ask whatever you want. We'll solve it for you right here on Chris Sees the Internet, because we're on the internet. We live inside the internet.
Yeah.
We're in here right now.
Yeah, we are the true answers.
We're in here right now. We're stuck in your internet. So we'll get the answers for you.
You don't even have to waste to Google it. We have the answer.
We're your new Google.
Yeah, we are.
We're your new Google. Just send it into us.
Yeah.
We'll figure out the issue.
Yeah.
And so 2 weeks, Chris Sees the Internet 2.0 is coming. I mean, actually, I think we're like at 5.0 already.
Yeah, I mean,
we've done this a few times.
Mm-hmm.
But we like to shake things up, man. You know, we're the flagship so far.
Yes.
You know, we started first.
Our bandera is out. It's out.
Our what?
Bandera.
Oh, got you. Yes.
Our flag is out there.
Our flag is flying high.
Yeah.
But that's what's going to be happening, man. Because I'll tell you this, I don't want to deal with internet issues anymore. I just don't.
Mm-mm.
I don't. And a lot of these artists we can interview in person, and then I think it's going to feel it's going to feel different.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be a new little vibe. So in 2 weeks from today, we'll be back. But if you tuned in for LocalBlac, he's coming up in about 5 minutes. Oh man, I literally was just going to say something right now, and now I forgot. It was important. 2.0, Chris Sees the Internet, next week, Father's Day.
UFOs?
Nah.
No, that was old.
It's not coming back. It'll come back soon.
The Earth is flat?
Dude, I don't know if you noticed, I'm not smoking weed.
I know, man.
Yeah, man.
You've slowed it down.
Slowed it
completely.
down quite a bit.
Yep.
It's not it's not gone because I don't think it's a bad thing. That's not why I'm not smoking as much. I'm not smoking as much because I realized that I've pretty much been smoking for at least the last 5 or 6 years nonstop. Like just one long smoke for like 5 years. So
as it's about to go out, you light it again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
And your boy needs a break. And so far, what I can report. I think shout out to Gene Flow. He put it really well. Like, you know, you kind of feel like I feel like I'm high anyways, because it's been so long since I've been just completely sober that all of this feels very new. You know, it's like being in a new.
I can go with that.
You know, like the first time you smoke, and the first time you get high, you're like, "Whoa, what is this new world?"
Mm-hmm.
That's what I feel like now, like every day, because I'm not high, and so, yeah, I don't know. Try it out sometimes. You know, if you're smoking a lot, give it a break.
Yeah, it does.
Don't let it own you. Is what I'm saying.
I think that's the key right there. What you said. Don't let it own you, because I can admit to myself it owned me for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And then once I started owning it and then having respect for what the weed should do, things were changing. You know, I don't have as much fog. I'm not smoking as much as well. You know, so
yes,
I think it's the clarity comes.
The brain fog is a real thing. Look, there is no smoker who doesn't understand what the brain fog is. Mm-hmm. Like, unless you're just not being honest. But we all kind of know what it is. I'm a lifelong smoker. But yeah, taking a break it's kind of cool. And
how about the CBD cigarettes? Even those too? I'm
like not smoking anything.
Anything? Okay, that's good.
Nothing. It's cleaned out my lungs too. Like you know, I'm running a lot more now. Well, your boy's got a 5K coming up in October in San Diego.
I saw
a thing called the Hip Hop 5K. Some places have like the Rock and Roll Marathon. San Diego's got the Hip Hop 5K. And your boys, not just me, but OG Hip Hop Eddie too. And see, that's another thing. We're going to record all that and put it on Chris Sees the Internet. So you're going to be able to see it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I didn't
you're going to see us.
I didn't know that part.
We're going to put up, we're going to even record some of the training. So, you know, Chris Sees the Internet's going to become quite a variety show. You're going to see a little bit more behind the scenes on what we do. We don't have to, because I'm telling you guys, like, man, being in the studio, sitting in this chair, my back is hurting.
Mm-hmm. I got a pillow on my back seat right now.
And and like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of Zoom, only because I know that it just doesn't work the way I want it to work. You know, it doesn't always work the way I want it to work. So we want to get rid of that and see people more in person. But we'll occasionally still do Zoom. The thing is, like when we're on Zoom and we're streaming live to you guys, there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of parts that can go wrong.
Yes.
So I'm trying to eliminate that. I want this to be as smooth as possible. I got to compete with Black Books and Rhyme Books podcast, dude. That thing's about to be lit.
Yes.
Beardo's already getting great interviews. He had a moment. I'll tell you this, like one of his first interviews right off the bat, man, there were some moments on there. You put it this way, you might cry.
Yes.
You might cry. I teared up for sure.
I was up there with you, man.
Eddie and I were producing the show, and we were just watching it and taking it in, and you might cry because it was a very touching moment. Very honest and touching moment on Black Books and Rhyme Books podcast. So that's coming up, and we got to compete. You know, we're the old guys on the block, so we gotta stay in the fight. You know what I mean?
Man. We do definitely have to stay in the fight, and then especially if this 5K is coming.
This
and
5K,
then, from the 5K, and then what Thought Fest is before that, right?
Before that, yeah. So we're doing Thought Fest. Like, so me and Eddie have already privately decided that by the time you see us at Thought Fest, the Happiness of Pursuit Festival, if you don't know what that is, it's the largest independent hip hop festival on the West Coast. PlatformCollection helps throw it. We'll be there. That's all I can say. There's a bunch of cool stuff about being there this year that you guys will see. Let's just say Chris Sees the Internet's going to have a big Thought Fest, and you guys are going to be able to enjoy it. And we're going to bring you footage from that's other stuff. We're going to grab interviews with some of the headliners. Oh man, wait till you see the headliners.
Yeah,
wowzers!
More and more great news to come for sure.
Yeah, some people that I've interviewed over the years are on this festival. Some huge names are coming out for this festival. Shout out to 60 East. He's the curator and the person who puts it together. But anyways, since that's in October, we've kind of not silently, just behind the scenes, the team at Platform Collection, we're all trying to get in shape. We're all trying to get our game up. We got a really busy summer and a probably even busier winter. So we're using Thought Fest as our end point, our goal meeting point. We're all gonna, at least by the time we hit Thought Fest, we're all gonna be able to run a 5K with no problems.
Yes.
That's the goal. And if you're in the Southern California area, maybe we'll invite you guys out. You guys can run with the team.
Yeah, come and join us.
Come run with the Platform Collection team and help us out. Cheer us on. You know what I mean? Bring the weed. Whatever you want to do.
Give us water.
Everybody can't do everything.
Yes.
So, but if you want to join the team, let us know. Especially if you're trying to get in shape, man, we're about to do it. If you followed Chris Sees the Internet, you missed or maybe you haven't followed it. If you haven't followed it, then you missed the Chris Sees the Internet weight loss challenge. Your boy used to weigh 240 pounds. Your boy's at 182 pounds as of today.
Wow.
So we really do this.
We are doing this.
Like, we really, really do this. So please join us. Again, the road to Thought Fest has begun. The road to good health has begun. Eddie, are you nervous about it at all?
No, man. I'm not.
It's needed, huh?
It's for sure needed. I can't be nervous because then that'll distract my mind.
Gotcha.
Do other things, so I'm not nervous.
That's what.
Let's put in that work. I got to put in that work.
Let's go.
My wife is pushing me.
Your wife's getting in shape,
yeah,
man.
She's getting in shape. She's pushing me. She's just like, get your ass off the couch or get your ass off the room and get out of the office. Go do something.
Yeah.
Get some workout.
Get your head out the candy
jar.
jar.
Yeah, like she stopped buying me snacks. So.
Oh no. It has begun.
Because at first she was like,
she's
okay.
not fucking around.
She didn't, I was like, okay, I'll stop. And I'm like, let's just buy this jar of this and the jar of that. And before you know it, she's like, damn, you said you were just gonna have like 1 or 2 tonight, and you had like 10 or 12 of them,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh.
She got to cut you off, bro.
I've been cut off
like a
that.
bad kid. That's no more for you.
I can't go to the candy store.
No candy store for you. No candy shop for you. But we got the homie LocalBlac coming up in a second. The Zoom line is open, so we'll see if we can get him.
Yeah, he had to get his computer restarted, but he's coming in, man. He's coming in.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, man. So again, in 2 weeks we will be back. All the fathers out there, all the good dads, shout out to y'all. All the single dads, and shout out to all the moms who are playing dad.
Right.
You know what I mean? Shout out to y'all. So we're gonna have Father's Day off next week. Out of respect for the papas.
So on that part where you said, you know, all the moms that are out there playing dads, does it? I was talking to my wife about it. Like, it's never really said the other way, where it's like all the dads playing moms, because it's very limited on those.
Yeah, all the dads playing moms. Yeah, it's harder. Yeah. I really do feel like it's harder for dad to play mom. Dads can always play dad. Mom can sometimes play mom and dad.
They have to. Yes.
Yeah.
They're just bro. So
yeah, it's rare, but I'm sure it exists. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a dad out there playing mom, I mean, shout out to you too. You know, shout out to the single dads too. You know what I mean? Shout out to all the single dads. I know that's hard because people are always giving props to the single moms. I'm saying shout out to the single dads. So we'll be off next week for Father's Day, and then we'll be back with the all new version of Chris Sees the Internet coming up very soon.
All right.
So I got the line open. We got LocalBlac on the Zoom. It looks like they're gonna patch him in.
Oh, yes. Get him in.
And let me see here. LocalBlac, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Yep, there he is. All right, ladies and gentlemen. None other than the homie LocalBlac. He's in the house. Give it up for him.
Yeah, thank you. Good deal, man.
Good to see you, man. First of all, thank you for sharing your time with us. I've been following your music for quite some time from afar. You know what I mean? We've never really had a chance to have a conversation. So we're going to be learning about you with the audience tonight as well. So I want to jump right into it. I want to share your story with our audience and share your story with our supporters. Let's start from the beginning, right off the bat. Let us know your name, who you are, where you're from, and then tell us a little bit about how you got started in independent music.
Yeah, of course, I go by LocalBlac. I'm from Los Angeles, California. You know, the way I got started, it's a really interesting, story to me, at least. You know, one day I was biking to this CD store. Just a regular little shop, take some CDs, go sell them. We have this place called Orphan CDs. So I would go there, sell CDs, make some money, roll up a blunt, and then listen to Below the Heavens. This was during that era. And I would listen to that album all the time on repeat. And then one day I was just like, you know what? I've seen a couple videos, with Blue and Exile and, just their whole circle. And I was like, I could do this. And I couldn't do it, obviously, to begin with. In the beginning, I couldn't do it. But, I was like, I can do this. And that's what fueled me to start. And, ever just since that day, making that decision, I just remember, after getting off the bike and posting up, I was like, I got to do something else, because selling CDs is cool, but not just to roll up a little blunt, So I had to figure out something else, and music was that scapegoat, and I just gravitated towards that. From then, just been building.
Are you amongst a family of creatives, or were you like mostly the creative in the family? Like, where do you feel like your musical prowess comes from?
I would say on the creative end, definitely it's just me. I've asked my mom about it. I've asked my dad about it, but they're into their own thing. Like, my dad was into writing like shorts and, sitcoms, just for the fun of it. And my mom was a big music collector. We had, CD books. I'm talking about 8 CDs a page, like 64 pages. And during my free time, you know, when I was a kid, I would just go through those CDs, pop them in the CD player, and just vibe out. But then on the creative end, though, it's definitely me, I can say.
Yeah.
And I do feel like, you know, my family can also create, like it's within them. They just chose, you know, to express it different ways.
Got you. Okay, so obviously, I mean, amazing early influence. I mean, Blue in Exile, amazing influence. Just on a sidebar, have you ever met them?
Yeah, a couple times actually. You know, I've done a few tracks with Blue, so that was a blessing. Funny story. I think it was 2014. You know, I was working at Wingstop, and my boy Elton, you know, he hits me up. He's like, "Hey, they're doing a show at LACMA," and I believe during this time it was Madlib, Freddie Gibbs, Blue. I want to say Earl. I don't know if Earl was performing, but I did see Earl there. And this is just like really early. Freddie Gibbs and Madlib just did, I believe it was Pinata. And, you know, Blue was performing. And I was like, hey, you know what? I'm calling off work. Let me go. You know, I got to meet this dude somehow. So, you know, long story short, stayed for the show, ended up meeting him. We chopped it up. We exchanged emails. And then I think for about a year or so, I kind of just held on to the email. You know, I reached out, but I wasn't ready personally.
Yeah.
And then one day, you know, I was like, hey, I got this record. Are you interested in getting on it? He said, cool, passed it through, got on it. I didn't end up using it just because, you know, stuff happens. But that right there solidified like a pretty cool relationship between me and Blue, which led to, I want to say about 4 or 5 songs between us. 2 of them are features, and then there's like 3 that I have that are, you know, him featuring on my work. So it's pretty cool.
That's super dope, man. That's, I mean, talk about like manifesting that. Like honestly, like that's super super dope. Let me ask you this, man. Being an independent artist, obviously, I don't have to tell you. You know what I mean? Like it's not like it's always an easy thing, right? There's many ups and downs. There's always levels to reach. What are some of the things you do to like keep yourself positive and keep going? Because you put out quality work, man. You're an amazing MC, amazing lyricist. But what are some of the things you do like mentally, psychologically to keep yourself going and keep going after the goal?
Honestly, it's, you know, talking to myself. It's, you know, reassuring myself all the time. Every chance I get alone, reassuring myself like, hey, this, you know, this is what you're doing. This is what you're supposed to do. Like you've worked too hard to reach a certain skill level to, you know, stop. So continue, just keep pushing. And, you know, I just talk to myself. That's it. On the creative end though, you know, I try to keep a schedule, a routine schedule. So generally I'll wake up around 4:30 or 5 in the morning, and then I'll go out to the backyard and I'll write for 2 hours, and then I'll get my day started. Cause you know, I have to go to work, not end up, but it feels like I end up at work, but yeah. So I'll write for like the first 2 hours after me waking up, you know, get ready for work, go, come home, and then just prepare for the next morning, you know, what beats I have, what songs do I have to finish. And I just try to keep this tight routine, and it enables me to, you know, see the process through versus just sort of, you know, freehanding it, freelancing. And freelance work is very great, but, you know, for what I'm trying to, you know, create, I have to have like a solid schedule to work through and work with.
That's amazing, man. And I think that's such a gem, bro, because I think a lot of the times, and we've said this a lot on the show, where I've met artists who for whatever reason feel like they gravitate towards music in order to not have a job, you know what I mean? As opposed to making it the job, you know? And that's really dope. By the way, did you know that, who is the author? I believe it's Stephen King. Stephen King writes. It's a very, very similar thing. He wakes up very early in the morning and writes every day. He says it. He says he puts down.
Yeah, I think I've heard something about that.
Yeah, he puts down words on paper, and he's like, sometimes it's not good, sometimes it's good, and he's like, it doesn't matter though. He's like, what I'm doing is training my brain to be able to create the thing that I create when I want to create it, as opposed to being at its mercy. I think that's really dope.
Yeah. You know, not when you're just feeling inspired, you know,
right?
To be able to harness that out of you on will.
Well, let me ask you this: it seems like to me that did we lose him? Are you there? We might have lost him. Oh no, there he's back. Let me ask you this: you got me right? You can hear me?
Ooh, I think
maybe he doesn't. Can you hear me? Possibly. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Yeah. Live.
This is that live thing we were talking about earlier.
Live show.
Moving around.
It's all right. We'll get him plugged back in. Yeah, dude. I love that. Right, that he has a schedule.
Mm-hmm. Bro, that's.
I wish more artists would do that.
We're talking about, you know, I mean, I can say for me in my personal life, getting the schedule going and being more strict.
Oh, I think we got him back.
All right, let's get him.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So let me ask you this, man. One of the things that I hear in your music a lot is your lyricism is very high, and it's something that it seems like writing is one of the things that you really put a lot of time in. But when you talk about your topics, like what gets you to a topic? What usually happens creatively for you to end up on a topic?
Generally, it's the production. You know, I like to translate, you know, the way the production sounds. I'll have let's say, because I do admire working on projects more than I do singles.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just speak on the project side. So in a project, I have these key points that I want to hit, you know, topics that I, you know, want to preach on throughout the project. And then depending on what production I have available at that, you know, in that part of the song, or, you know, when I'm starting the song, that'll generally, you know, translate into like, oh, hey, no, this is a concept or an idea I wanted to work on, and I feel like this beat is like tapped in with that same energy. And then it'll just go from there, and I'll start with the verse. I know some people like to start with hooks, but I like to start with a verse, and then, you know, the first two lines to me are the most important, because then from there,
Uh-oh. We might have lost him.
We lost him.
It's all right, man. We're going to work through it.
Yeah.
I really want you guys to hear what he has to say, man, because he's quickly becoming one of my favorite artists. I check out a lot of his music.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, he has he's saying the right things, you know, great messages for the audience to hear, and the fans and the people that want to be artists or just want to know what's going on in this kind of mindset that people have. But yeah, you got to push yourself. You got to get into a schedule. Great thing. I mean, when he said he talks to himself, I mean, I got to talk to myself more and listen to myself and really, you know, believe myself what my other self is telling me, like what I can do.
Yeah, you don't want the negative self-talk.
Yeah.
You want that positive self. Like you want that internal voice to be your friend, not the person that's constantly criticizing you, constantly cutting yourself down.
Right.
And that's important, man, because that takes practice. That's not just something that can just, you know, live, you know. It takes a lot of practice. So we're going to get him back on, though. I think they're working on that right now.
Yeah, they're working on behind the scenes to get him back in.
Okay. But yeah, let me throw up his internet. Let me throw up his Instagram really quick so you guys can check that out too. Make sure you guys follow him. And it's LocalBlac without K. So all one word, Local Black, the way it sounds, just no K. It ends with a C, and you can catch him everywhere. He produces as well. We're going to talk to him a little bit about that. We're just trying to get his Zoom. This is that Zoom thing that I told you all about, man. That I'm getting. It's not. I'm not a fan of it. I'm being honest with you guys. I'm not that big of a fan of it. We started doing it because we kind of were around COVID, more or less, when we were really launching the show, and we started with the Zoom to try to make up for it. But I think it's time we transition out of it.
Because we were going to the homes, we were going to studios, we were going on location, we were doing a lot of that stuff, and then definitely COVID did stop us, on that sense. But we're like, no, we got to keep going, get the Zooms in, let's get these artists via Zoom at least. And I think where it's coming around, where we're able now to go visit them and do the interviews,
at their house,
sometimes the comfort of their home. Those are the best ones because you bringing in the audience into that artist's life. You bring the audience
into their energy,
yeah,
right.
And they see it, and it's like, oh wow, like it's almost like they're there, and that's the gift that we can provide to the fans and all that, to make them feel like you're with us as we're sitting with the artist that you like, interviewing them.
Yeah, because I think it's a part. M16 the Great said this a little bit about like people only seeing really like 20%. You know what I mean? Like 20% of what an artist's actual life is like, because they only get to see the creations of the artist.
Right.
They don't actually get to see like the out. Like, I mean, he said Local Black says 4:30 in the morning. Gets up at 4:30 in the morning to go write for 2 hours. That's not something I think people necessarily imagine when they watch his videos. They're just like, oh, this must just he must just do this so easy and like it must just pour out of him. But the reality is like he's literally working like a regimented system in order to produce that art. Like that's what it takes. So when people are like, what does it take? Like, like why does it seem like it's so easy for him? The reality is that he accepts that it's not easy. And that's the first step.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
That is such a great thing to say. Yup. Recognizing that it's not easy and then going through the challenge of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it goes with everything, It kind of goes with everything with, people wanting to lose weight, people wanting to gain muscles.
Yeah.
People wanting to, even doing great at school. Like I want to get to the master's program. Well, you got to study. You got to wake up at 3 in the morning and study till 6 in the morning,
Right.
He's doing his, I got to wake up at this time to write this.
Or you got to run a half a mile for 3 months before you can run a 5K.
Oh, okay. Is that for us?
You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
That's for us. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna follow the same thing. Do we have him on the line at all? Do you know if he's up yet?
No, I think he's
resetting his computer.
Yeah, he's resetting, yeah.
He's having some computer issues. It happens, man. The struggle is real, y'all. That's the independent struggle. But in the meantime, definitely if you're listening, check him out on YouTube. He's got a bunch of videos on there, very well made. His music's amazing. And here is a fact that you might not know. He performed on a Black Books and Rhyme Books. That's where I first saw him. So shout out to Beardo for that.
Oh, I did hear you mention
see this
that
energy.
Yesterday. Yeah.
The universe, the PlatformCollection universe continues to keep giving. I first caught Local Black at a Black Books and Rhyme Books. Again, if you're in the Southern California area, you need to go to one of these because the stars of tomorrow, all over Black Books and Rhyme Books.
All over.
I saw Local Black have an amazing set. Look, he's just a great rapper. That's one of the best ways I can sum it up. If you just love hip hop, like real hip hop, he's that dude. You know what I mean? You heard his early influences. I feel like a lot of the people we meet, their early influences are that record. You know what I mean? That Blue in Exile record. How many people have we had on the show that have said that that's their one of their big inspirations? So it looks like we got him back on.
All right, word up. Let's get him in.
No, man. It's live. We're live.
That's how we do it.
You know what I mean? that happening proves to people that it's live. We're not playing around when we're talking about that. But ladies and gentlemen, LocalBlac is back. Okay, so we're not going to waste any time. So, like I said, one of the big things that I think that you do is, you put a lot into your writing. You were talking a little bit about how do you get your topics. You said that it has to do with production and the music, but also you're a producer. Right. So you use that side of your brain as well. You're not just writing, but you also produce music. Mhm. Yeah. Yep. Gotcha. Gotcha. Wait, so is filmmaking, because we can talk about that as well, like you actually producing your own videos and stuff. Is filmmaking something that you want to get into? Is that a passion of yours as well?
I got a message. We can't hear him.
Oh, there you go. No, he's good.
Okay.
No, yeah, you're good. Go ahead.
The end goal, is to eventually, not leave music, like as far as writing, but take my writing elsewhere, and it is, film, script, and
Oh, wow.
I just find I find a lot of joy in that.
Yeah.
It's really fun, especially directing my last four music videos. Just each one, I noticed like it getting, the improvement. I noticed that, and that's like, hey, let's keep doing this. It felt good. So
Yeah.
it is something I eventually want to tackle on, like full on.
What kind of movies are you into?
Oh man, comedies. To tell you the truth, man, comedies. Yeah, I did comedies. I don't think I watch enough movies though. Yeah, I just never really have the time. I enjoy, like a good TV show, something I can turn on really quickly, and I don't mind having in the background. But music, not music, but movies, they've just been really hard to sit through.
I get that, man.
Yeah.
Trust me, I get that.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat with you. My brain doesn't. I feel like it doesn't work like that to be able to just sit and watch something that I have some. Like if you go to my Netflix, all my movies are like halfway watched. Like there is just a big list of halfway watched movies, and it doesn't matter what movie it is. So let me ask you this, man. As an independent artist, what has been the biggest challenge, when it comes to your music? Because you are also one of those artists that, again, I watch flyers like it's the newspaper, and your name is on flyers all the time, especially in Southern California. You're out there, you're performing, whether you're promoting videos, whether you're promoting the music you're making, you're out there amongst the people. But what has been the biggest challenge when it comes to like maintaining as an independent artist?
I would definitely say, priority switch in life. And as you go, sometimes you have to focus your finances elsewhere. And you can't always put everything you can into your music. And for me, that's like the biggest thing, because I don't want to just put out anything. I'm not big on that, because anyone can just put out anything, and that'll be that. I want to put out something that, first is going to be at the highest quality that I can afford, and then second it is just going to stand the test of time, whether it's underground, whether it takes it a step further. But you're going to always be able to go back and press play. You're going to be able to go back and watch that video and enjoy it. But in life, sometimes your priorities switch and you can't invest fully. And I think that's sometimes my biggest hurdle, because there'll be a project that I want to do, and then I'll come to my senses like, okay, this is how much this is going to cost. And I just got to, work out the details and, the timeline and how long it's going to take to fully get it done the way I want to see it. And just that part right there can be, tiresome and discouraging at times.
Yeah.
But if you keep, like, for me, I just, like I told you earlier, I keep talking to myself whenever I get the chance, just to reassure myself, like, no worries. Some things take a little bit longer than others, but just, keep your head down and keep working.
Well, let me share this with you, man, because I love the fact, one of my favorite things about doing this show is I get the opportunity to speak to people that I admire, and I admire their work. And also being an artist myself, I also know that this thing can be very lonely. You know what I mean? Like this journey can be very lonely at times. And sometimes it can be hard to like really like solidify an idea or solidify like whether or not you're doing the right things. I can tell you this, man, as an outsider looking in, it's working, bro. Everything you're doing is working. It's amazing. I hear more and more people mention your name in the circles that I'm in. So to see you work and see what you're doing, if you were ever wondering, other artists admire what you're doing. I'm one of those people, and I think it's working, and I'm a fan.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So, I was just gonna throw this in there. I never really ask the audience or just ask people, how, if they're feeling it. So, to hear things like that, it feels good, because a lot of work goes into it. And sometimes, even myself, even though I know I don't need it to continue to work, but I know a lot of artists really, really appreciate just being appreciated.
Right. Right.
So I thank you.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Yeah, because I mean, I definitely know how it is to be out there, and sometimes you are one, like sometimes it pops up. I wonder if this is hitting the way I want it to hit, or is it, or are the people taking it in the way I think they're taking it in? And like I could say, I think that your message is very concise, and I think that's one of the things that I admire the most about your music is what you put out is very concise. It never leaves me wondering how you feel about what you're talking about. Like I know exactly how you feel about it by the time the song is done, and I appreciate that. But I know, trust me, I know you're a humble dude. This shit probably makes you feel weird. Let's move on. How about this? Like I asked M16 the Great. We had another artist on earlier on. Shout out to M16 the Great. I asked him this question. Being that I'm assuming, you do a lot of your own management of your own career, obviously. If you had an unlimited budget and a manager to manage everything that you needed, what does LocalBlac need from a management standpoint? Like, what do you feel like could help you the most to get to wherever else you need? Let's say other than just the money. Other than that, what else do you need?
At this point is putting the data together, the data, and figuring out where we can go, even if it's like 10, 15 people in this town. All right, let's see where, they congregate at, and let's try to get them all together in one, and let's do a show. Let's stop here. Because, that's one of my biggest things so far. Well, as of late, I know not a lot of artists talk about it, but they're definitely looking at these numbers. They're looking at this data, and they're trying to figure out who's listening, where they're listening, and how do we reach them. And if I have a manager with an unlimited budget, then that's the goal, because the music we can make the music. We can make the music on the road. We can make the music at home. It doesn't matter. We need to find these people and go to where they are. And that would be the thing, just start connecting dots around the map.
I love that answer. Yeah, and I agree. I don't hear enough artists talking about the numbers. In fact, it seems it's weird, right? Because especially like in indie music or / underground music, sometimes I feel like that conversation gets taboo, right? Like I've been in circles where people are like, numbers, and that's always confused me because I've always wanted to connect with as many people as possible, or at least the people who I feel like need to hear my music, you know, the people who would want to hear it. And knowing that in a more concrete way would help a lot, right? And it does help a lot. We're big on looking at our analytics, and it's still new to us too, and we're still learning it. But yeah, I think that's very important, man. And I'm glad you said that because we do get a lot of young artists that listen to this show. We get a lot of requests to be on the show, and a lot of the young artists. In fact, I just had a conversation via DM with an artist today, and they were asking like, you know, hey, how can I get involved in like what you guys are doing? And as one would do, I went and checked out the Instagram, and I saw like a lack of posting, a lack of interaction with an audience, and I told them, you know, quite honestly, start there. Like if an interview, placements, you standing next to a famous artist, none of those things are going to solve your problems. None of those things are going to get you to the next level, right? And you know this, you know, you yourself work with some of the best, and nobody in the game is there to solve your shit. You know what I mean? Like they're just not. They can't. And I think a lot of times young artists feel like they can, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, you know, to young artists, I think that is, well, first, you know, if you have a craft, get good at it. That's all I'm going to say. You know, that's the only thing that you can do. And by the way, good is very subjective. Right. You know, people are going to always like what they like regardless, but get to a point where you feel that you're good, and then start looking like, you know, take the analytics, take all this stuff into consideration, because it's going to help you move forward and move along, you know, definitely. And this is to like the young artists that do watch.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so let me ask you this, man. You it seems like you're pretty steady putting out music and videos. You know, I look through your YouTube. There's consistency over time. What for the rest of the year? Is it already planned out for you? Like, do you think that far ahead? Are you in 2023 yet? Are you still fucking with 2022? Like, what are the plans for the future for you for the rest of the year?
Well, I'm not in 2023 yet, but I am towards the end of 2022. But I like to plan things out. It just keeps everything moving as smooth as possible. You know, I do have a project. This will be the first place I'll, you know, announce it. I have a project that I'm gonna, you know, let everyone know the release date this coming Friday. Got a video actually that I shot with my guy Moby. Shout out to Mobius. We have that coming too. So yeah, I like to keep things, you know, planned out because it just helps it go. You know, it keeps things moving forward. That's all.
That's what's up, man.
I have a question for him.
Yeah.
So I know you mentioned that when you talk to yourself, like almost like an encouragement thing, or you talk yourself through things. Do you have those moments where you have like not all those positive thoughts or all those like planning thoughts where you're like your other voice or your other self is like
the negative you?
Yeah, the negative you. Like how do you deal with that, or how do you handle that, man?
You know, it's duality of man, you know, like it's always going to be there. And I don't shy away from it. You know, I know there's like this big positive movement going on, and, you know, speak positive into life and, you know, such and such. And I dig it, but you also can't forget that there is also a negative side, because that's just how the world works. You know, yin and yang. You look around, male and female, you know, you're going to always have that opposing force, and you can't run away from it because eventually it's going to catch up. So, you know, when those situations occur and I'm beating myself up, you know, I just take the punches, you know, and I'll try to get out of the funk as fast as I can. I definitely don't want to soak in it, but I don't want to run away from it, because within that period, there's also growth going on that I'm not even aware of. And then, once I
Dope.
pull out of it, I'll just have this, clear vision of what I just went through and now what I need to do to avoid feeling that again,
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
I think
Thank
that's
you.
very important to be said, because I think part of the journey as an independent artist, at least what I've seen, over these last, 15 some years of interviewing people, like I've definitely seen what happens when you kind of try to deny the negative from even existing. It's almost like not getting the full picture of reality,
Right,
and
right.
and that can get tricky. You know what I mean? That can
Yeah.
get really tricky if you're not careful, because sometimes you'll have like this really unrealistic view of how the world is, and then something negative happens, and that can be really bad, especially if you've never dealt with it, or you just expected it to never happen.
Yeah, some people shut down completely after experiencing, trauma. Trauma is not a beautiful thing, but it's less painful than people paint it to be if you take the proper steps to work through it. And and I actually take that trauma can be a beautiful thing. It can blossom into something beautiful. And I
Yeah.
think if you just avoid it, your entire life, when it does happen, you really don't know how to react, respond, and you shut down. So I think it's not that wise to disregard the negative that comes with life.
Dude, tell me what you love the most about the journey so far, like the journey you've been on. What are the parts that you love the most?
Just watching something go from a thought into something tangible.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
That's I'm like marveled by it every time it happens. Like, I have to sit back and I'm like, yo, this just came from a simple idea, and now here it is. However, if you can hold it, you can hold it, like merch, or watch it, listen to it. Like, it just started off as a thought, and to me, that's always been the most interesting part about the journey.
I agree. Yeah, I'm gonna have to side with you on that one, man. That I agree. I think it's amazing. I never take for granted the fact that you can tap into some source and have no idea before, tap into that source, and then have a music video, a song, a tour, merch, whatever it is, and tangible right in front of you. That I never take that for granted, because I do know how rare that is. You know what I mean? Because the reality is that it's not easy. It's why you get up every morning at 4:30 to go write for 2 hours. People forget to look at that part of the creative process, and I'm glad you shared that with us, because I think the work that goes into it a lot of the times is lost, on the consumer or the listener. And it's not like they have a duty to necessarily take that in, but the reality is it does get lost. They get to see the polished product at the end, but they don't see the 4:30.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They don't see the sitting there hoping something's going to come to you, or not being able to write something. They don't see those moments, or the times that they really don't see, right? When maybe your family doesn't understand what you're doing, or the people closest to you don't necessarily understand what you're doing. Those parts are lost a lot of the times on the consumer. So it's one of the reasons I like to have artists on the show and talk about those things. What is your support system like, man? Like, who are the people around you? What are the people, that support you? Like, what's that look like for you?
Definitely my guy Ayo producer. He's from Los Angeles, but he currently resides in Denver. He's always hitting me up like, hey man, when you're ready to get this new project started, because me and him work on projects separately from other stuff that I do. So he's always there, like, support ready, trying to figure out ways to propel me to another level. Then you have, Mecca. He's like my engineer I've been working with for the past 3 years now. He's just like a solid foundation, someone I can come to. You know, my music is safe. You know, it's in good hands, I should say. Safe as well, but also just someone I can chop it up with, you know, if I ever need to. Because he is like steadfast. He is in like when I say music business and just the industry itself, like that's where his head is. You know, he's reading books on this stuff, and me not so much. Even though, you know, I dabble with it, I'm still more on the creative end. But just having him around, like it creates this sort of balance whenever I need to really talk about that part of the music. So, you know, those two guys have been like some of the biggest supporters as of late. Then of course you have, you know, my old lady, you know, she's amazing. She's always encouraging me. So
shout out to her.
I'm no shy to say that, but it's all good. Yeah, shout out. I try not to you know, put too many names out there who aren't in music.
Gotcha.
You know, I leave them anonymous.
I got you.
Yeah.
You definitely have supporters that from all around, man, because I remember I was telling the story before you came on. I don't know if you remember this, but you came down to San Diego with a Black Books and Rhyme Books one time. I think Beardo had booked you, and it was like in a parking lot. It was just like right out in front of a store. Yeah. But dude, this is one of the things that I love the most about what we do, man. Like I saw you there that day and I was like, yo, who's this dude? Like this, I'd never heard of him before. And he is fucking dope. Like, and bro, I promise you, I never forgot that. Like I never forgot that performance. I never forgot you rocking there. And it was always in my mind. Like when we were making a list for the people we wanted on this show, you're on that list. And we just brought on the Black Books and Rhyme Books podcast that'll be launching later next month. And you're on that list too. I saw the guest list for that too. And your name's on that list too. They want to interview you over there. So that's super dope. So once again, man, please take your flowers, bro. Like again, whatever you're doing, it's working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's working, man. Ladies and gentlemen, please support everything LocalBlac does. Again, follow him on Instagram, LocalBlac, one word, no K at the end, ends with a C. And please run his numbers up, go over there, let him know that Chris Sees the Internet sent you. My dude, you always have a home right here, man. So anytime you want to release something, you just want to come and talk to the audience, please do. Please come and share your thoughts with us. Anytime you want, Platform Collection's got your back. So, and like I said, again, I think it's a beautiful thing about this culture that we all love, that you can just see somebody one time and it can make an impact like that. Where and now we're talking. You know, it's a weird time that we live in, man, but it's a beautiful one, you know?
And that show, by the way, that show was really fun. Yeah, it was just like me and a group of homies. We just packed in the car and we drove down. And yeah, dude, Rick Scales was there.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Rick Scales was there. I believe he performed. It was my first time catching him, and I just thought he was just like amazing freestyler. He was killing it. And yeah, like the vibes out there, you know, grilling in front of the store. That was a cool time. I really enjoyed myself that day.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And we hope to see you again soon, man. Like I said, anything we can do for you, please let us know. And then let us know when the new projects drop. Make sure you tag Platform Collection on anything you put out so that we can share it over on our networks as well, man. And please come back soon. Is there anything anybody can do to support you right now? Is there what can people do to support you?
Just check me out. LocalBlac across all platforms. LocalBlac. Reach out to me on Instagram, Twitter. You know, check out the music, YouTube, LocalBlac, Spotify, Apple Music. And, you know, just really get a feel for it and what I've been doing and what I'm going to continue to do. And, you know, if you want to even reach out, you know, my inbox is open. I don't shy away from anyone. I love chopping it up. So, yeah, just hit me up, man. One love.
Yes, sir, man. All dude, right, please come back again. Hopefully this will not be the last time we talk to you. And have a great week, my friend.
You too. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, LocalBlac.
Nice.
Man, we know how to pick them, bro. Dude, and I thought about that as we were talking to him. The reason he's been literally on my list of guests. You know this, because I send you the list. But he's been on the list for a while. And when we finally found an opportunity to get him on, we did. And it all came from that Black Books and Rhyme Books. And I just think it says a lot about. That's all just beautiful. You know what I mean? Like that's the beautiful part of what we do. It's the thing that I feel the most honored about that we do, what we get to do. We get to bring people's stories to our audience and to share it with our friends and supporters, and all of it has been organic. I think that's one of the things I love the most about what we do, especially here on Chris Sees the Internet, and what we did prior to Chris Sees the Internet. It was Crappy Awesome. We used to do a show called the Crappy Awesome Podcast, which you can still find on Spotify and iTunes and anywhere podcasts are found. It was an audio podcast, and there's some video. We did one season of video with Crappy Awesome. So, but yeah, man, we've had quite a journey. And I'm never not honored to speak to people like M16 the Great and to LocalBlac, because I get the magic that they do, you know, and I hope they get it too, you know, and if they don't, then I love to have them on the show to let them know that they are magic. Right. LocalBlac and M16 the Great are magic, just like all the other artists that we've had on this show. So like we say all the time, if you want to support us, support them. Yes. And that'll be enough. Realistically, trust me, it is. It's the only reason we do this show. Eddie's not with his family right now. He's here doing this show because we love the magic. Yes. We love the connections. The fact that you saw I brought up his Instagram, and that's him performing at a Beardo show, you know. So the universe that we're in, you know, right. And then he remembered Rick Scales, and who were we interviewing yesterday? Rick Scales. Yes. For what? The Black Books and Rhyme Books podcast. Yes. Amazing. Yes. And dude, this is what. Let me just say this to anybody who is like pursuing their dream or pursuing the path that they think they should be on, like we are. If you just do it consistently enough, those little moments of magic, it's all that ever happens. At a certain point, every day is like magic. Every day, if you really, really, truly appreciate what you're doing and the ability to be able to pursue what you love, man, it's worth it. It's worth it. I would never ever trade it for anything. Right. We've had ups and downs. We've had hard times. One day me and Eddie will tell you a story about us in Hawaii on our first tour and how we were dead broke. My first time ever in Hawaii, I was broke. But I was in Hawaii because hip hop took me to Hawaii. Right. And I'll never trade that for anything. And I'll never trade these conversations that I get to have with these amazing artists, because at the very least, what we're doing is filing them away in these volumes of information that will be on the internet forever, that you guys will be able to check out forever. So whether it inspires you today or it inspires you 10 years from now, because you watch an old episode of Chris Sees the Internet, either way, for us, for me and Eddie, it's mission accomplished. Yes. Right? Without a doubt.
Every show that we've done or every tour that we've taken, everything, whether it's been like really up there or we've fallen really hard, it has been what a great experience, what a great journey, part of the road that we do. So
it's necessary.
Yeah, it is necessary. You know, not all of them are wins, you know, unfortunately or fortunately. Most of them are a lot of like,
lessons.
But you got to keep up. You got to get up and keep going. You know, definitely. If you talk to yourself, you know, you push yourself and encourage yourself. Right. And just keep going, man. You don't want to get too far or be as far as you are and then be like, I'm done. Like, I can't take this anymore. What a heartbreaking, for yourself.
Yeah.
For
I
your
mean, how many
mind, for
times
your
have we
soul.
had that conversation where we're
Yeah.
like, man, that person doesn't even do what they start. Like, we met them doing magic.
Right. Yes.
And now they don't make magic anymore. And that's always been a sad thing to me to see.
Man.
And I understand, again, it's not for everybody, but it is sad. It is sad when you see the magic go. But like I said, I will never trade it. And we will keep bringing you this show. We'll keep doing everything we're doing at Platform Collection. You guys know that we're artists first at Platform Collection, so we serve artists first. That being said, I mentioned with LocalBlac, people who want to be on this show. We've had a lot of requests lately. That's just how it goes. Every once in a while, we'll have like this big influx. All of a sudden, maybe they saw one person on, and then that person knows a bunch of other artists, and then all those artists want to be on the show as well. They want the opportunity. But this is what I'm saying. You watch our other episodes. If you want to know like how to get on this show, watch our other episodes. See the artists and the types of artists that we speak to. See the level that they're at, what they're doing. Because the reality is the people we book on this show are proof positive that hard work and dedication works.
Right.
So if you're not yet able to apply that to yourself, because maybe you're so new and you haven't put in all the work that you're going to put in, that's not a negative thing. Trust me, I'm doing you a favor by not putting you on the show yet. I told somebody this today in a DM. Timing is everything. And we want you to get the most out of this show, the biggest benefit. So what that means is that people can hear you talk and then go hear your catalog. Because you have so much music, you have so much content.
So important.
That's so important. Because here's the reality is if you come on the show and say you only have 1 or 2 songs out or, a few posts here and there, this is not going to do anything for you.
We're doing a disservice.
We are doing a disservice. And
it's hurting you. Yeah.
We just won't do that. We won't do a disservice. We're not in this to do a disservice to an artist. You need to have a certain amount of work already out there so that when people finally hear you talk and tell your story, they can put it all together. And then they have your little universe to investigate. What we don't want to do is have someone on and then they go to your page and say you don't interact on your page, or you don't, maybe you only have 1 song out yet. Let me tell you this. If you only have I'll say this. If you only have 4 songs out, 5 songs out, 10 songs out.
So little.
Slow down. Slow down. Not on the work. Increase the work, but slow down on wanting the attention for the work you've done. Your work will speak for itself. Without a doubt. There is not one person that I've ever booked on this show that their work didn't speak for themselves. That's a fact. Run them back. Run them all back. You will see every guest we've ever had on here, they're on here because they're doing the work and they've proven they are brands that you can trust. That's very important to me because we're not doing this show just for artists to watch it. There are also people who just love the music.
Right.
And they are very important to us. And I want them to be able to trust us that if we say, hey, check out this artist, that artist is somebody that can take them on a journey, that it's not just a one and done, or we never hear from them again. So if you're new, or you feel like you're working hard, but you want exposure, because I always hear that. Oh, I want to get on the show so I can have exposure. Dude, we want exposure. What are you talking about? That's not what this is, though. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to have a conversation with artists so that they can have their stories out there and try to ask them questions that matter, questions that come from a meaningful place, questions from people who care. Because I've been a lifelong artist. I've been on many shows. And trust me, one of the reasons I started doing shows was because the shows I would go on, and this is not to down anybody, that's why I'm not going to mention any names, But a lot of the times it's just very cookie cutter.
Right.
Hey, what, you got a song coming out, talk about that song, promote your song, and then you're out. That's not what I want to know. I want to know the person, because I'm trying to share that person with our supporters. And there's nothing more important to us than our supporters.
Right.
There really isn't. They allow us to do what we do. They allow me to do what I do. They allow Eddie to do what he does. We appreciate them. We love them. We love our supporters. So I'm for sure not going to put someone in front of them that is not necessarily ready to be put in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not going to do that. So again, keep sending in the requests. That's the other thing I'll tell you. If you send in one request and you don't get picked up, keep sending them in.
Right.
The next time you drop a song, send it in again. You don't know what we might connect with. Again, I saw LocalBlac in a parking lot on a Sunday afternoon rapping. And he's on the show now.
Yeah. And it wasn't from one day to the other. It did take some time.
It took time. Years passed, literally.
And look at how, he's very polished. He knows what he's doing.
So polished. He's amazing.
He's taking care of business. I mean, if we send our audience back to him, they know what to look for.
Oh, yeah. They'll be fans.
And that's what we're talking about. You don't want someone to go back and then go like, is that the only song? And and they only have a sticker in there, and I can't even buy that sticker.
I can't support them.
Then they're not going to check back till
ever,
or
most likely ever.
Yeah. I mean,
like in the world that we live in, most likely
so
ever.
Fast.
There's so many things happening. People have so many options. So again, Eddie said it perfectly. We would be doing you a disservice if we brought you on this show too early. So don't trip.
Mm-mm.
But at the same time, all love. We're cheering for you. I am cheering for you. I'll tell you that right now. If you hit me up on a DM and you weren't ready to be on the show and for whatever reason we didn't book you, I'm still cheering for you that you will end up on the show. And by the way, that has happened. That's happened a few times.
Right.
Where people asked us a year ago and we didn't think it was necessarily ready to have an interview. And they've been on the show since then.
And even if we come across where, like M16, the great said earlier, it's almost like we are almost a referral service. So you might not fit for our show, but you know what? The homie show over here, you'd be great for that show. And we'll refer you right over there. So it's not like we're like, no, you can't fit in us. You just can't fit at this time with us. But that show, bro, or female or male,
and we've done that.
Great, yes.
We've referred people to other shows, to live shows. Because right now, one of the big things is we're getting hit up is to get on Thop Fest, right?
Right.
Now, let's just talk about that really quick, okay? For anybody who knows what the Happiness of Pursuit Festival is, for you who don't know what it is, it's the largest independent hip hop festival on the West Coast. So what can we say about that? You're not going to just get on that because you think you should get on that. Everybody on there has literally gotten the attention of the entire team that throws it. There's a lot of people that go to throw an event like that. And we all sit down and we have a big list of names. And from the most obscure artist to the most known artist, we go through that.
And it's a one by one.
And everyone who's on that show has earned a spot, and it's undisputable and it's undeniable. I said that many times on the show. You want to get the things that you want, become undeniable. Make it so that people know, oh, this person deserves everything that they're getting. Don't leave any question.
No, at all.
So what does that mean? What did we learn today? That means get up at 4:30 in the morning and get your day started and treat this thing like a job. What else does it mean? It means direct your own videos, write your own thing, write all your own music, produce your own music, do whatever you think it's going to take for you to become undeniable. Do that. And trust me, you're going to get everything you want. You'll get everything you want. There is no chance that you won't. There is no chance that you won't. You will get everything you want. So when it comes to something like the Happiness of Pursuit Festival, you can send in the request, but please know there is a list And to throw an event like that, that thing gets planned a year ahead of time. It's like a year ahead of time. So if you're put it this way, if you're looking to get on the show like right now at this moment, it's already too late. You should have done that like last year. It's every October. October is right around the corner. We're looking at vendors right now. Everything else is booked. You know what I mean?
It's done deal there. I mean, and yeah, it's like if you're on that list, it's because they've already been looking at you for maybe a couple years. And then you've
been campaigning.
Yes.
There's artists who campaign for like 2 years straight to get on that thing.
So you do what you got to do to get on that show or on that festival, or if you had a show or another show, but you got to just keep working and working hard. Whether you're the 12 p.m. opener or you're the 11 p.m. closer, you have to put in that work, because even as the one that is the main, performer
headliner
at the end has the same value as the opener, because that main one had put in that work, and you put in that work to get to that position there. So, much respect to the ones that even make it to the 12 o'clock, even the 1 o'clock, opener where it's daytime. But what a blessing that you were picked, and a blessing that you were participate in this festival, So credits to everybody, but the main thing is you got to keep working, work hard. And when you feel like you work hard, you're working hard, you probably got to work harder.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then it just keeps going.
And don't quit. Yeah. Keep sending in the requests. I say that all, to say this, keep requesting. But you're never going to get anybody who fucks with us knows we're not dismissive people. We always have some sort of advice to give you. If we can see some holes in what you're doing and they're obvious, we're going to let you know so that you can fill those holes and then hopefully get the things that you want. We're going to tell you what you need to do to get the things you want when it comes to getting on our shows or working with us. We'll tell you all the things you need to do.
Right.
It won't be a mystery. Like, you'll know, I'll give you a list. Here's a bunch of stuff you can do to try to get on the show. Keep trying. So, guys, thank you so much for supporting, especially to our supporters, the people who aren't artists, the people who just love art, the people who take it in. We do this for you. We love you guys. We appreciate everything you guys do for us. We will see you in 2 weeks. We're off next week for Father's Day. Again, shout out to all the dads being real dads. Shout out to the moms playing the role of dads. And shout out to the kids who take care of their dads.
Yes. Oh,
you know what I mean? Salute to y'all, because we wouldn't be anywhere without y'all. So, man, much love to y'all. Have a great week. Take care of yourselves. Love each other. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and support the artists, man. And check out past episodes. Trust me, we have literally a college worth of information on this whole season of Chris Sees the Internet. We've had some amazing guests and some more amazing guests coming up. Make sure you follow The Heartful Truth, B Block TV, the podcast about people. Shout out to V to Kill. Shout out to Gene Flo, Melly, Gabby, 7 Octobers, the Parker Edison Project, one of our big shows. Make sure you go check that show out. Anywhere audio podcasts are found. We have amazing episodes. We don't just cover hip hop, we cover culture as well.
Right.
And current events.
And coming soon, the Black Book and Rhymes podcast.
Black Books and Rhyme Books.
Books podcast.
That's Eddie. That's it,
me, man. That's how I want to end the show, man.
That's how we wanted to go out. You know what I mean? Black Books and Rhyme Books podcast coming up, hosted by none other than Beardo, dropping very soon. And yeah, man, we will see you guys soon. Please follow us, KILLcRey, OG Hip Hop Eddie on Instagram, and send in those questions. In 2 weeks, we're running questions. We want to see your faces, you supporters. Please send us in videos. Literally ask us anything and we'll solve it for you guys. That was the internet, and we saw it. We'll see you guys next time.